Vic's room was upstairs over the garage and kitchen, occupying the entire right side of the second floor. When the house was built, the space was unfinished. Brother Joe, Vic, and I finished it as a bedroom with 2 huge closets. Vic used one of the closets to film stop-motion Star Wars episodes of his own invention. The bedroom had its own electric heating system too, because I had a mortal fear of plumbing. So I wasn't connecting any plumbing. One wall of Vic's room was covered with a photo mural of a Hawaiian sunset. It was a time of change for Vic. He left behind the safe and orderly world of Little League, piano lessons, Carl Sagan's Cosmos, and dinosaurs. He moved on to Dungeons and Dragons, BMX, skateboards, and god-awful music. It was a time for new challenges and new dangers. Vic started with bicycle motocross racing, that's BMX. Linda and I would take him to the races every weekend. One Sunday at the Shoreham track, as we watched at the conclusion of a race, the winner crossed the finish line and did a rock walk. Now that's while moving at full speed. The rider twisted 180 degrees on the front wheel, landed on the rear wheel, then another 180 to continue forward. We'd never seen anything like it before. Poetry on 2 wheels. Vic was hooked from that moment. When I saw him practicing rock walks and other BMX freestyle tricks on the street in front of our house, I was terrified and certain that he would break something, if not everything. I forbade him from riding like that. Of course, that didn't work, and eventually he convinced me that it was no more dangerous than racing or any other activity that an ordinary 15-year-old might undertake. Convincing but flawed logic. One fine afternoon, Linda answered the doorbell. Vic's friend Brian O'Leary said Vic had a bike accident in the woods. She'd better come and get him because he wasn't coming home on his own. Fear of the unknown is one of Linda's worst enemies, but not this time. She was instantly in her Corvette following Brian's directions to the scene. Now the boys had built a BMX racetrack in the woods, complete with berms and some gnarly jumps. Rather than speed racing though, Vic was practicing his trick jumping, trying to master the tabletop. That's a move where you make the bike lie flat in midair parallel to the ground. Apparently fatigue had set in because he drifted off to the side of the landing ramp, face-planting trackside without a helmet or a face guard. Vic greeted his mom, covered in blood and dirt. Now, a bloody teenager in the Corvette's passenger seat? We're talking love. Oh, she also cleaned him up nicely before I even got to see him when I came home from work. Vic was about 5'8" in height with a trim build. His upper body was nicely muscled, a genetic gift from his grandfathers amplified by BMX racing. He liked to wear Vans, shorts, and shirts. The sleeves were cut off and the armpits were open halfway down his side. This was pretty much the standard for Spuds. His hair was brown, thick, long, and wavy. His face handsome. He was a perfect Long Island Guido. Eventually, our family was completely overtaken by freestyle riding. We'd drive to Hempstead regularly for team practice. John and Linda Lynch owned a bike shop there that was sponsoring riders and events. Vic rode on their team with Jimmy Johnson, Emil Zenger, and Joe Grotola. Soon the team was co-sponsored by MCS Bicycles, and we were deeply involved, taking weekend trips to comps as far away as Nashua, New Hampshire, and Dothan, Alabama. Linda and I became qualified to judge freestyle competitions. I even got an AFA, that's American Freestyle Association, official shirt, and judged in the Masters held at Madison Square Garden. We were so taken by freestyle riding that we became evangelical. We decided to publish our own zine. Zine is magazine shortened, an indication of their self-published and unofficial nature. Small journals usually about specialized interests, the blogs of their days. Our zine was called Shred. Vic did most of the writing along with the contributions from myself and readers like Matt Zeitler being the best. Jan did professional graphics, and I also took photographs. Here's a short sample of Vic's creative writing from the final issue. Wounds in sand, a dying man. Hideous. Mindless evil pursuing always. Gnawing at the open thoughts. Wounds in joy, a dying boy. Shred was a lot of fun because we did anything we wanted. We started with a typical 8.5 by 11 centerfold center staple and ended up with a 6 by 8 side fold. The pages were numbered from -17 to Q. We built a mailing list of almost 1,000 names, some paid advertising, and achieved some degree of notoriety. People actually looked forward to the next issue even though they had no idea when it might arrive. Issue number 1 was in September of '86. The 6th and final issue was March of '88. We gave a lot to Shred, and we took a lot from it too. It was fun.